Hey guys, this is Joe, Analog Archive, on for another video. Video today is going to be about the WFMU Record Fair in New York City. This is the second year that I've gone to WFMU. Most people are familiar with what WFMU is, but if you're not, it's a once annual record fair that's kind of been in different places across New York City. The last 2 years, it's been in Manhattan at the Metropolitan Pavilion on West 18th Street. But in past years, it's been in Brooklyn and Queens. It is one of the largest record fairs in the United States. And last year and this year especially did not disappoint with the quality of records, but also the great people that kind of come together for a collective mutual love for especially records, even though there were some CDs that could be found. Yeah, it was a great time. My dad and I went down. The fair was this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday, November 8th and 9th. It was a little bit better than it was last year. Last year it was the day after Halloween and then the Saturday after. So it was like November 1st and 2nd. It was a Friday and a Saturday. So a little bit tougher for that. But this year, Saturday, Sunday, got up really early, had about a 5-hour drive down to the city. But we got there even before it opened. The doors opened at 10. We paid for the early admission, and it did not disappoint. It was great for it to be in the same place as it was last year. I was definitely familiar with the layout, but also who was kind of there. For the most part, it was pretty much the same people, and then there were some new people that at least I saw from based on my experience compared to last year. So it was a great time overall. Got to see kind of waiting in line. Immediately I saw Dom, Seeking a Thread, Brandon, Faust in the Head, Dave, Local Bandography, and then Rich from Deep Groove Mono. So it was awesome to kind of talk with them, and yeah, it was great to see everybody there. And then we before we got in there, we also saw, or I saw, Chance from Surface Noise, along with Chris Grooveseeker, Jason Rojas, and yeah, so it was great to see all these people. It's kind of always funny to kind of to see these people that you normally see on videos in person and kind of chat. And so it was awesome to see everybody. But yeah, we got in there. And yeah, I was there for a few hours. I ended up only being there for that Saturday, but it was just an incredible time. Only came away with a few records, but for me, as I've kind of talked about in past videos, I'm really looking for just kind of specific titles, and a lot of the stuff I'm interested in is a little bit pricier. So I had a larger budget than I did last year, but was able to grab a few titles, and for me that was good. So to get started, I got actually all three titles were from three different sellers. Two of the three records came from sellers that I bought from last year. So this first one is Europe America. It is on the Palm label, but this is the second pressing, which was on the disc Vendimiar, and I probably butchered that. But like in the late 70s, Palm was kind of like bought out, or like just kind of like merged with this other label, this again disc Vendimiar. I know there's like the last Bayard Lancaster title came out on that that kind of new or like merged label. But as you can see from the kind of the top, it's got a lot of great French musicians, a lot of musicians that had recorded for Palm in the 70s. So you had um, like Francois Genot, soprano sax, Philippe Mattei, tenor sax, Andre Jaume is on tenor sax, bass clarinet. Jeff Gilson, the one that started the Palm label, is on piano and is also kind of the leader of the session. Jean-Charles Capone is on cello, and then Butch Morris cornet, along with some other musicians that I'm just not as familiar with, but larger session in that kind of free jazz meets like big band setting. Really, really excited to find this. Was not an expensive one. Again, this is the second of the two pressings. The first pressing, which came out the year before this, I believe this was a 70. This was recorded, it says, it actually doesn't even say when it was recorded. No. Oh, no, it was. I'm sorry. December 1976, and I believe first pressing was 77, and then the second was like 78. So this is like the 78 pressing. The original pressing is like 75 to maybe like $100. This one's more like $40 to $50, so it was right in that range. I bought it from a seller named Yao, who again I had bought a few free jazz records from last year. Was excited to see him at the fair again. I saw him at the two Philly vinyl cons that I had gone to, but especially this fair. Kind of quickly took a look in his bins and was very excited to see this. So that was a great one to grab to kind of begin with. Next one was from Mostly Records from Pittsburgh. He has an Instagram under Mostly Records, posts a lot about the different fairs that he's going to across kind of the Northeast. I know he's gone to VinylCon a few times as well, but this was the first time that I saw him at Wfmu. Just like a lot of sellers, he had a bunch of boxes of records, and sticking out of one of the boxes was this record, Nathan Davis, If. This has been on my radar for quite a while, really, since I've discovered Nathan Davis. I know a few years ago there was a like a pallet of these like dead stock copies that were just like found in like a warehouse or like in this like facility, and I think those kind of disappeared within like a few months. So that was kind of like interesting that like after this was from the early 70s or mid 70s, 1976, that after like 40 plus years that there was just kind of copies that came to be. But yeah, this has been on my radar for a while. Very excited. Anytime I see Nathan Davis, I actually saw another Nathan Davis title that I decided to pass on. Was kind of running out of funds by the time I saw that one, so had to pass on that. That was like a live concert, I believe, in France. But this one I was very excited to grab. And yeah, this is just an incredible title. Again, June 1976 was when it was recorded on the Tomorrow International label. He had a few records that were on this label. He has one that's like a tribute to Martin Luther King Jr. as well. So very happy to have seen this. Great like post-bop modal. Mostly plays a saxophone on this. He has two tracks that he's on the flute, but for the most part it's the saxophone. And it's just really, really killer stuff. So again, anytime you see Nathan Davis stuff, it's always worth grabbing. Been very lucky to have found a few over the summer in that Bop Shop collection. So great to add this one as well to it. So Nathan Davis, If. So that's a great one there. And then the final one, which actually was the first record that I bought. From last year, the big kind of talk, especially from like the jazz side, was Joe, Basement Records. He had this incredible, mostly like free jazz, but also had a few like just kind of like straight ahead like hard bop or like post bop type records. But they were just really, really rare and very, very clean copies of this. I know he had like a bunch of the Khan Jamal records, and he had a few Palm records. And this record was one that I saw last year. It was definitely above, like, really my budget at the time. But it was a record that I had kind of seen people talk about quite a bit. I know there's a reissue, Superior Viaduct did a reissue of this a few years ago. So it is available in a much more affordable thing. But I knew that if I was going all the way to the city for the fair, that I really wanted to leave with just a piece that I really don't think I was going to find anywhere else. And that is Nation Time, Joe McPhee. So this is Joe McPhee's second record. Actually, his first record and this record both came out on the same label. It was called CGR Productions, I believe. Yes, CJR. Well, I guess it's really like CJ Record Productions, and the R is like part of the record. But it's a label from New York City, started, I believe, like around like 68, 69. That was actually his first recording. And it had just kind of a white cover to it. It actually looks very much like one of those hand-drawn like Sun Ra covers. But this is his second record. This is really considered to be his like kind of magnum opus type record. This is the one record that I think most people know if they know about Joe McPhee. But no, it's just really, really great, like free jazz, just improvisation type stuff. It was recorded at Vassar College in Poughkeepsie, New York. So just a few hours, about 2 hours north of the city. And I think he was a professor there, and he taught some classes there, I believe in like maybe the 80s or so. I might be wrong with the years, but he was at Vassar College at one point. But no, this is an incredible session. I'm not familiar with really anybody else that he played with, but he's on tenor sax and trumpet. I think this is actually the first time that he plays the saxophone. He is like seen as playing the saxophone on his first record, but kind of according to some sources, it may be like that he really didn't play much on the saxophone. It was really not until this one where he plays both the saxophone and the trumpet. But yeah, this is a really, really killer session, and just very happy to have found it. I sold a bunch of stuff before because I was hoping to find some big titles. This record had been on my want list for a while. Really was holding out for an original, even though I knew that it was going to cost quite a bit. So paid a bit for this, but was able to actually get the price down a little bit from where it was, and was very happy to have been able to grab that. So that's Nation Time, Joe McPhee. So that is actually it. I just grabbed 3 records. Last year I grabbed 6. I'm not really a big, like, I don't really tend to buy a lot at these fairs. I just really like to kind of pool and maybe get some bigger titles that I've been really looking for. And I've also just become a lot more picky with what I've been trying to find. So there was definitely a lot of great stuff I could have grabbed. There was, I saw my friend Evan, who was good friends with Billy. And I saw him, he was kind of with Billy last year at a booth, but it was him and his other friend who I'd met at VinylCon. I don't remember, I apologize, I don't remember what his name was, but they kind of shared a table this year, and the friend had a bunch of great African records, but just wasn't really in the cards this year. Human Head had a lot of great stuff that I just, if I had seen it a different time, I might have been able to grab some more if I had more time too. I was on kind of a limited schedule. I was only able to spend, I mean, I was there for about 4 hours, but I mean, the fair was huge, and anybody can really, I think, attest to the fact that a few hours at the fair was really not enough to get a good idea of kind of how things were. So planning next year, hopefully, to be able to spend a little more time at the fair to kind of just take a breather and really assess what there is and try to come out with some great stuff. So, but no, I was very excited and very happy with what I was able to grab this year at the fair. And again, really beyond just the records, it's so great to be able to talk with people, people that either had seen me on my videos or at like on the Jazz Bums streams on Fridays. And there's people that I've just kind of started to get to know after seeing them at a few fairs. But it was great to talk with everybody that I saw. And yeah, that really for me was something that I was equally as excited to kind of be a part of, going to these fairs and kind of have the opportunity to do that. So that is it for this video. If you liked what you saw, please think about liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next final video. Bye.